Hi everyone, it's me. I want to talk about weathering the storms and what happens sometimes, not all the time, in parental estrangement when our adult children choose to disconnect. And I think as a woman who loved her children, and when they had certain needs, I took care of it. When they had certain pains, I wanted to do everything I could in my power to lessen what they were going through. When they needed to go to the hospital for whatever reason, took care of it because that's what a loving parent does. They want to solve the problem. They want to ease the pain. They want to hug their kids and say, everything's going to be okay. And I think in the back of our minds, we believe what we do for them, they will do unto us as well. And I remember talking with my maternal grandpa's sister. She was one of my aunts, great aunts actually. And I would go see her, and she had a number of children. And she said, because I only had two, she said, the more children you have, the more life insurance you have in this world. And so years ago, I think people that had big families and people that farmed, etc., believed that their children would be there to help farm, run the home, take care of the younger children, and take care of their elderly parents when the time came. And so the mindset today, I think from people of my generation, is we say, well, because I took care of my children, they'll eventually take care of me. And some parents even eventually move in with their adult children when they get to be of a certain age or they can no longer manage themselves. Yet today, unfortunately, we have situations where that is not the case. And I believed when I went into the hospital inpatient for my PTSD as a result of MST that maybe my daughters would show up and lend some support or show me love. And that didn't happen. I was in the hospital again for PTSD. I don't know if they knew I was in there. They did not come and show me support. When I was in the hospital for surgery, lower back surgery, last year, they were not present. When I went into this hospital for surgery on my wrist, they were not present. And so I think we have a certain mindset that says if I get cancer, my children will care and come around. It'll somehow touch them or tug at their hearts. It will help them to see that life is too short, and maybe it will soften them in some sort of way. And I just want to say, unfortunately, in my case, that did not happen. I remember, and I've spoken about this, I think, numerous times, when my maternal grandmother, who I was very close with growing up, was passing away over 3 years ago. Even though my daughters had been estranged for a number of years, I thought, well, if my sisters call them, invite them, and see me, maybe they would give me a hug and show me some sort of compassion or say I'm sorry, etc. And I know when I was there, my youngest daughter showed up. My grandmother was lying in a bed, adjustable bed in her living room. I was on one side of her lap. I was at the end of the bed. My sister was on the right. My youngest daughter showed up and sat on my grandmother's lap to my left side, and she was within 5 feet from me. And I said to my grandma, this is my daughter Auburn, and my grandma was actually kind of surprised. And then I sat across from my youngest daughter, and I tried to speak with her, and I said, Grandma's been waiting to see you. And she ignored me and looked at her phone and did not extend any sort of care, sympathy, compassion, empathy, etc. And I know I showed that to my daughters. I know I instilled that because I exhibited that in my own heart and in my own life to my children. And unfortunately, it is not the case with estrangement sometimes. And I just want to say, setting up realistic expectations that when we go through difficult times, our estranged children might not show. And if they do, I hope to God it's to mend fences, to come back and to be a sense of support and healing for you. So that's what I wanted to talk about today, just to give you an example. I hope this helps someone else, and we'll talk with you soon. Bye-bye.